Welcome to Casual Wednesdays. This is a show for Fish Tuxedo where we sit down, talk about some games we've been playing, and talk about other stuff that we want to talk about. This week, it's going to be some movie stuff and possibly some wish lists for what we want to see at the Game Awards. Is that what they're called? This upcoming...
The Game Awards.
The Game Awards. Yeah. So I'm Jonathan Downin, you are Mike Fire.
Yes.
So let's talk about video games.
I like
Yeah, you kick them off. You've been playing a bunch of stuff. Just the nature of how we do the Let's Plays. I have two long-running series at this point, so I don't have too much new to say. But you gotten some new stuff, for some fresh stuff.
Yeah. I've been playing a lot of a video game that is Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah.
I've been playing a bunch of that. I put up just like that quick 45 video, just me playing it for like 45 minutes. And whatever, that was that. Just to get a feel for it, and that was actually the first time I turned it on. I didn't even know what I was doing or whatever, and I like doing those videos because it makes me realize how dumb I am. And then I actually played it, and now I have like 25 hours in it because that is a good game.
So
it's a game I really like to play.
So you're about 1/20th of the way through, then probably.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm sure you've heard in Dragon Age Inquisition, it is multiple open sandbox environments, just not one large world, but it's like a world map that takes you to a bunch of smaller but still really, really big
So is
maps.
it like a spokes thing, like not Dark Souls, Demon Souls? You familiar with how they did that stuff? Like it's like segmented. There's like a hub, and then you can go off the spokes on the hub off into like bigger open areas. It's not, like you said, it's not all one big open world, right?
No, it's not one big open world. It's like pretty much from anywhere you can hit the pause button or options button or whatever the fuck button it is now on these dumb controllers. Yeah. You hit the button that takes you to your pause menu, and you can open up the quest map and then go to the world map, and it's just a big paper map that you can click little icons on. Then there's upwards to I don't know how many. I have about 5 unlocked of large areas that I can go to. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there's 10, but maybe 8. But either way, it's a lot. It's a lot, and a couple other smaller areas just for mission specific
but
things.
Not Skyrim style.
Which is pretty interesting. No, okay. It's not Skyrim style. I mean, the funny thing is that when you actually go to one of those smaller but still large maps, it is presented to you like Assassin's Creed or Skyrim style. Yeah. I mean, closer to Assassin's Creed because you don't see anything until you've actually traveled there. But you see there's tons of quest markers. There's that diamond-shaped quest marker that you saw all the time in Skyrim, now in Dragon Age. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot to do, and it's a really big open world. Just for a point of reference, I was 7 hours in before I even attempted to start the third main quest mission, because I went they just present you with this huge open world, and I was like, oh wow, what do I do? How was this? Right. And if I hadn't listened to podcasts saying that's just one of the maps, I would have thought that was the game.
Oh, cool!
Because it's huge. It's bigger than the Shadow of Mordor map is the first map you go to in Dragon Age. It's probably a lot bigger than the Shadow of Mordor map. It's crazy. So I spent 7 hours running around and clearing the map and closing rifts and killing stuff and doing all sorts of side quests because there's tons of them, just like Skyrim. It's a happy medium between Assassin's Creed, Skyrim, and the Dragon Age Origins style. Because the Dragon Age Origins was this too. It was large maps but in segmented spots. It wasn't one. It's interesting. It's really cool. The story's really neat. I mean, it makes it easy for you to be interested in it because it's kind of like that Game of Thrones-y kind of House of Cards political intrigue stuff. But they do it in it's very lore heavy, but I think it's simple to understand because you're well, these guys are all people who carry swords, and those guys are people who do magic. That's easy to understand. They don't like each other. And I never really dug into Origins or Dragon Age 2, but I didn't have very much of a problem getting into the lore it is a little daunting because everybody was like, you gotta do this.
Right.
You gotta read this article before you do anything because you will not have a good time.
You gotta do the Dragon Age keep stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't, specifically to see if I would have a bad time.
Right.
And if I would have not understood anything in the first couple hours, I would have just stopped and done that and started over. But I'm 25 hours in. I listen to every conversation that I have because it's genuinely interesting. It's lore heavy, but I'm a lore whore.
Oh, boy.
I love lore.
All right.
Dragon Age Inquisition, for how generic and kind of just Tolkien-esque and not super interesting the world appears, has a lot of really interesting and rich lore that is entertaining to hear when spoken by a good voice actor or actress.
Yeah, I gotta give that game a try. Like, the systems and just how it plays and the structure of the whole thing sounds super appealing. I haven't played any of the other Dragon Age stuff, but I do like those sprawling RPGs, but I'm really, really picky about fantasy stuff. I mean, in general, I'm really turned off by it. But I do like Skyrim. I do like Elder Scrolls. I do like Lord of the Rings. Like, I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings. But outside of that stuff, I see fantasy stuff and I'm like, ugh, that's not me. That's not for me. So if I can just like get over that, it sounds like this is worth giving a go for sure.
Well, I think that this is like it's very Tolkien-esque. You know, it's not. That's obviously
the Tolkien stuff.
I mean, that's
like,
where everything gets.
The magic is like downplayed big time, and in this sort of the world, it looks like there's just dudes shooting lightning bolts and like similarly. That's why I really like Game of Thrones. Like, there is supernatural stuff in that universe, but it's pretty few and far in between, at least in the early stuff.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty cool. And I mean, Dragon Age, I don't think everybody has the ability to use magic. I don't know how that works. I think but the interesting thing is, and I did not realize this, is that there's no healing magic.
Right, it's potions, right?
It's all potions, which I was like, this is dumb. But like, I don't know, it's something small like that is like, this can be really frustrating for sure, but it's interesting. You know what I mean? It's like, why is this not a thing that we can do? I mean, there's like barrier spells and stuff like that, but you can resurrect, obviously. Yeah. But there's just no straight up like, well, here's 50 health, you know, which is super weird, but at the same time makes it oddly unique, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing, but it's interesting, and it makes it stand out. I don't know, I think the thing that differentiates this from Skyrim is that while it's huge and open and lets you go in whatever direction you want to, it still is directed. You are playing a guy with a voice.
Right.
And you pick the general direction of the conversation, and you pick, like, you know, well, tell me about the Dalish elves, you know what I mean? And then they'll go on a long diatribe about what they're about, you know, or whatever you ask them. But in reality, the conversation always steers in whatever direction. It's like, if there's a big bad coming after, that's what the conversation's about. Right. You know, not like in Skyrim where nobody really gives a shit. You know, it's just like, you're just a dude. He never really talks. You just pick the words and, you know, whatever. Because that guy's just, like, he'll talk about the dragon for one conversation, and the next conversation will talk about how he's selling his grandma. I don't know. It's very directed, even though it's open, which I like. I like a good story.
Right.
It's not great, but it's good.
I found myself this week looking at on the the Nexus, the mod Nexus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, looking at Skyrim stuff, thinking I should play Skyrim again.
Oh man.
I probably shouldn't play Skyrim again because I've probably put like 250 hours into that game. Oh, I think that's probably enough.
Man,
it's
never enough.
It's been 3 years since that thing came out. Like, we'll get into that stuff when we talk about the Game Awards because there might be something from Bethesda there. But also, you played some Terraria, and that resulted in one of the best videos on the channel, I think.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that quite a bit.
I was pretty confused. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
I was pushing all the wrong buttons. My computer was running like shit. Nothing was really working out for me. It was a 6-minute video of me just being very unhappy with what was happening. And I was like, this is going to be episode 1.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be an episode ever. Yep. But I decided to cut it into a 6-minute thing and be like, sure, why not? And nothing happens.
Pretty great. Well, so I haven't played it in a long time either, and I'm sure they've updated stuff since I've even played it. Even though like I was kind of a master of that game at the time, like I played a ton of it, but I have no idea what was happening with those wood whatever platforms. I have no idea what that was about. Like turning into like triangles and stuff. Like I don't know.
That's never happened. Look, I played the game like 2 years ago when it first came out. I have 30 hours logged in that game. I do not remember a single thing.
I think that's a legit bug, actually.
You think?
I think so, because that looked real weird.
It was really weird. I could not break any blocks. I couldn't break anything.
Yep.
I don't know. I broke the wall behind me. I don't know what.
Yeah, you broke that wall. But those,
watch
like,
that dumb video
platforms, man, those walls, like, I don't know. That was real strange. That was weird.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe you were hitting
I'll play it
weird
again
buttons,
in my spare time. Maybe in the future I'll actually try to learn it. But I was trying to go in fresh and be like, I don't know what's going on. Let's learn together. And instead it was just me saying, I'm not happy with the way this video is going.
Yeah.
I played Terraria.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I played a little bit of Mario Kart the other day. I played...
Yeah,
but mostly Dragon Age. Just Dragon Age, really. It's really
20
good.
hours. Yeah, I've been putting time in, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have anything that I haven't talked about. I put a little bit more time into GTA, because I really love that game in a weird way.
You have it on PS4?
Yeah, PS4.
Ooh.
Like, I would love just to sit down and play through it again, and I will, and I'm doing it slowly, but those guys, it must just be the budget and the amount of people and resources they can throw at that thing. It's just something real special. I mean, whether you like the story of the characters, just that world is like nothing else going on in video games right now. Like, especially on PS4, and I'm sure Xbox One and whatever, but like, man, just... That's a serious world that people spent serious time putting love and care into, and it's really kind of enchanting almost in a weird way.
I think it's telling that game took like a year to come out on, just to be ported to the next gen, you know?
Yeah.
It's telling that they obviously put some effort into that and they give a shit, you know? It's they put a lot of effort in that stuff even when porting it. So yeah,
for sure.
It's awesome.
Alien Isolation's still great. I think I'm probably like 3 or 4 episodes from finishing that game.
Yeah, you're really deep into that one.
Yeah, I have to be near the end, and that feels good. And it's, man, I'll say it again, like the way I'm playing that game must be the perfect way, because it doesn't feel long. I'm not frustrated with anything in it. It's just awesome. So if you pick up that game, play it over like 2 months. don't just sit down and marathon it, because this seems to be the way to play it. And I will be playing the DLCs at some point. I don't know if I'm going to go directly into those, but I'll be doing those too. But yeah, that game's been something pretty special for me this fall too. I think that's it, really. I fired up Destiny today because Bungie keeps sending me emails saying, hey, there's some junk at the postmaster. You should probably go pick it up. So I did that and picked up my junk. And weirdly enough, once I picked up the junk, I did feel the twinge. Hey, like, I should play some of this. I could shoot some dudes. I could do that. That'd be okay. So I'll probably get back to that at some point. But yeah, that's it. That's it for me, playing wise, and of course, Sleeping Dogs. But that's on the channel. Yeah, that's there.
Man, video games, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
and there's so many other video games I want to play.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put some sort of poll out at some point over the next few weeks, whether it's on Twitter or on the channel or whatever. But what I'm gonna be playing next, there's a few things I want to do. I want to play. I don't know what's going to go on the channel, but I want to play the new Longest Journey, the Dreamfall chapters. I want to play Far Cry 4.
Oh, hell yeah.
For sure. There's some other stuff, but there's some stuff I want to play, and I don't know what people want to see on the channel, so we'll figure out a way to like ask you guys what you want to see and get that up there next for my next stuff, but yeah. So I guess that's it as far as games. But we have some other stuff. Why don't you talk a bit about Star Wars?
Whoa.
Let's hear what you have to say about the Star Wars.
I'll tell you what, man.
Yeah.
I will tell you what.
Let's hear it.
I like Star Wars. It's a thing that I am a fan of. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And just recently, you may have heard.
Yeah.
Through the grapevine that Star Wars: The Force Awakens has
Awakens,
a teaser
right.
trailer
Yeah.
now available for your consumption on the internet. I will have you know, I first read about this like a week or two, a few weeks ago, that they were coming out with a teaser trailer, and it was probably going to come out Black Friday.
Yep.
And at first I read it, I was like, it's going to be in 30 theaters in the United States, and I'm like,
Right.
oh shit, is there one near me?
Yeah.
So, before checking if there was a movie that I would even be interested in seeing, because who really cares?
It doesn't really matter,
No.
right?
You know, whatever. I saw Interstellar, and I don't need to see any of those other dumb movies. But the, yeah, whatever, man. I don't want to see that. It was playing in a theater about 15 minutes away from where I work,
Okay.
because I'm not too far outside of Philly. And I was like, well, I know what I'm going to do on Black Friday, because I don't need to shop. I'm just going to go to that theater and watch Dumb and Dumber 2. But
Yeah.
before that, I will see a trailer for Star Wars.
Right.
And then the entire time while I'm watching Dumb and Dumber 2, I'm going to be like, wow, I can't believe this sequel actually got made. I really want to watch Star Wars right now.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably leave halfway through the movie and watch Dumb and Dumber 2 sometime later this year, or next year.
Yeah.
But anyway, I never ended up doing that because the people at Disney, Lucasfilm, and just Star Wars, the YouTube channel, so graciously put the video up on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they just chucked it up there like immediately. Like they're like,
I was like,
take
get
it.
the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, was it Thanksgiving? Maybe no, it was
I
Black
think
Friday.
it
sorry.
was Black Friday.
It was Black
but-
Friday. It was
but
like,
it was
at, like,
still. They
I
didn't
remember
make us wait. Like
It was
they
10
didn't.
o'clock in the morning or something like that. I was so excited. I watched that video and I was like, this is Star Wars, and I like it. You
Yeah.
know, there's a black stormtrooper. That's cool. Here, let me
That's
address
cool.
one thing. Let me address one thing for all y'all haters out there
Yep.
who are going to
hear
complain
it.
about black stormtroopers. Okay, the clone troopers were only in the original, or only in the episode 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
Those were clones. And then, after that, with the rise of the Empire, they were taking in anybody who wanted to join the Academy, which
Yeah.
could be any race of people, or alien. It could be anybody under that hood.
I mean, I don't want to get into this, but I haven't followed any of this. Is there any rational argument that these people have other than they're complete racists?
I mean, I feel like there are some people who are like, well, hold on, Jango Fett was white.
So
or
it's all the
something.
clone stuff.
He was Samoan or something. And I'm like, yeah, I think that there are a lot of people who think that all the clones are supposed to be one person, or all the
Gotcha.
stormtroopers are supposed to be one person,
Yeah.
because they're coming from the same clone factory, which is not the case. We don't know what happened to that clone factory as far as I know. I'm not that deep into the lore. But I do know that in Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, in the beginning, Luke is planning on joining the Academy.
Right.
Which is going to turn him into a stormtrooper, or he will be vetted into them realizing that he's Force sensitive and would just have joined the dark side.
Yeah.
So, for everybody who thinks that stormtroopers are only white, that is not the case. Stormtroopers could be any race, any alien race, or human race.
Well, I'm glad that's settled. We don't have to see that debate on the internet anymore. after this.
Yeah, and now that we've said it,
Yeah.
everybody, you can close the books on that one.
Yep.
Whew.
Good.
Man.
Woo. Yeah. No, we can move on. Great.
Thank
Oh.
God. Okay, so then there's the droid who's on a soccer ball.
Okay. There's one thing I take issue with in this trailer, and this is the one.
Really?
That looks
Okay, so
kind
let's
of
hear it.
dumb. It's kind of dumb. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. You know, I liked it, man. I don't know. It's cool. It's a droid, and it's cool.
So
It's
is
a droid
that
we
its
haven't seen-
body?
I
that-
would imagine.
Or
I don't
is
know
it like
why.
a thing? Or is it an actual ball that like co-opted, like because it got just like hit by like laser fire or something?
I think R2D2 just wanted to play soccer.
It's just ball version of R2D2.
Yeah, it's probably R3D ball, and then that's
Yeah,
we
must
go.
be that. Must
I don't
be
know.
what it
See,
is.
here's the
Yeah.
thing. Well, let's just co-op that with the hilted lightsaber. Obviously, you know, there is a Sith walking through a snowy
pretty
environment,
badass.
and then it was pretty cool. Just pulls out a lightsaber, and it's red, so you know he's a bad guy.
That whole like he has like a distinctive walk going on too that looks real badass.
He's
like,
mean. He's not happy. Whatever
Yeah.
he's doing, he's very angry.
Yeah, something is going bad or went bad or is gonna go bad. I think I
Or
already said
she.
that one. Yeah,
It could
true.
be a woman.
But I
Which
think
would
it
be
is.
cool.
But I heard, isn't the like I don't know if this was rumor or confirmed, but that dude from Girls is like the main Sith dude, and I presume that's the guy.
Well, there's
Maybe.
also
Who knows?
there is some speculation that is some other woman. There is some woman from. I'm not sure the casting, but I know that there's a lady who is not Daisy Ridley, that is in that movie, who is speculated to be a Sith.
That would be pretty badass.
I think that would be super cool if that was a lady. Sith? Yeah, mean lady, because it's been expanded upon in like the cartoons and stuff like that. There have been Sith ladies left and right, but never in the movies. You know, there's been nice ladies. There's been nice Jedi ladies, but they're always, for whatever reason, they're always like a Twi'lek or something. It's always a Twi'lek lady. But then again, there's like, I don't know. I'm going too deep here, because there was that lady that's basically like an Indian, but she's actually an alien. I don't know.
Sure.
Whatever.
Okay.
Depa Balaba. Anyway, the point is...
Okay, now you are going too deep. Yeah.
The point is... Yeah, and also... The band in the cantina, the music they play is called Jizz, and they are known as Jizz Whalers.
I have heard that. I can confirm.
It's pretty good.
I can confirm that is actual truth. It's not a joke.
Jizz. Yep. And also in Jabba's palace, where it's what's his face with Droopy McCool and the whole gang.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. With Max Rebo.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway. Okay. So Sith guy, Sith girl. We don't know. But he or she pulls out the lightsaber, and it's like, yo, cool. And first of all, you notice there's like lightning coming off this shit.
It's like
Something
a crazy fire
down.
lightsaber looking thing. Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, just on both sides of the hilt, there's like
Uncanny,
a crossguard here.
Man.
It's
like
crazy.
For the
And you know, here's the thing: internet people don't like this. But like I was gonna say with I wanted to put this together with that droid. Star Wars has always erred on the side of cool as opposed to practicality.
Sure. I do take slight issue with just like the logistics of that thing, and I haven't looked into it. I think some people have like explained it, including Colbert. Maybe he touched on it.
Yes,
but the hilt itself, like there's like metal parts where like you think you could like cut through the metal. Like it should be like. You know what I'm saying. Anyone who's seen it knows what I'm talking about. So that I'm kind of like, that's weird, but maybe there's an explanation. But even if there's not, whatever. I don't care that much about that.
Yeah. I will just say two things about that, and there are two different explanations. I'll try to make them quick. One is the one that I initially thought, that this is a Sith from an older time. You know, he's an ancient Sith just popping up out of somewhere.
Shit, so it's like an old school lightsaber.
Yeah, he's using like older tech lightsaber, which is why it's
cool.
like a fiery lightsaber with the lightning coming around it and stuff like that. It looks very older, you know, it looks like it's smoldering kind of, not like just one
it's like
beam.
Old West Sith, dude.
Yeah, totally. And I think maybe that might be the direction all the lightsabers go, like as an art style, or this could just be an old-timey sword where, you know, it's a lightsaber where basically they have like exhaust coming out of the sides because they hadn't figured that out yet.
Oh, so it's not even like a fight with maybe it's just like exhaust. That could be a thing.
That's what my immediate thought was, because of course I overanalyzed this because it's Star Wars. So I was like, okay, this could be like exhaust or something, because at first I was like, well, what's the point? And naturally I had to come up with a point in my head. If that could be the case, it might not be. Also, Stephen Colbert or his writers, whoever did, came up with this idea that on the inside, he basically showed an outline of the hilt, but on the inside, the blade continues to go like extended out and also crossing on the inside of the hilt. So even though there's the metal pieces there, it's just covering that side just to look cool.
Just cut the metal off maybe, but the actual saber part would still be there or whatever.
Exactly. So if you tried to catch another lightsaber with your crossguard, it would just cut through the metal and get to the lightsaber.
So it's just like an aesthetic thing possibly or something.
Yeah. I think either way, I think it just is meant to look cool. And I doubt when J.J. Abrams...
It looks cool.
Yeah. When somebody was like, look, this is what we're going for. It's going to be like a claymore, but a lightsaber. And he's like, okay, why not? That's cool. You know, because when you think about it, Darth Maul's dual saber, that's totally impractical. There's no reason.
Yes.
That's actually way less practical than having a regular sword. But anyway.
Oh,
X-Wings are cool.
Yeah, X-Wings, that stuff was awesome. That big speeder thing that lady was on was pretty sweet. Of course, you got the Millennium Falcon there doing some stuff. Oh yeah, man. I couldn't really be more excited. I don't think
Yeah.
that's what I wanted from a teaser of a J.J. Abrams Star Wars. It looks great. It didn't feel too Abramsy. I don't know. Maybe that's because it's the teaser, but we'll see. But
The Millennium Falcon flight was a
little
little like
bit.
that was. There was a little bit of lens flare there, and I was like, all right.
and the
Abrams.
twistiness of both the ship as it was flying
Mm-hmm.
with the camera, that seems like a stuff we've seen in some Star Trek stuff, maybe. But
Yeah, and whatever. I mean, he's got to put a stamp on there, and I'll
sure,
give him the
that's
benefit
fine.
of the doubt.
I don't mind that stuff either.
But I will say with the X-wings, you know, and this will be the last thing I say about this. But with the X-wings, you could just tell, you know, there's a lot of effort that went into making those X-wings. It looked like it was half. It didn't look like those were entirely CG. Like it was half, you know, practical and half CG. You know, obviously they didn't make real X-wings that fly.
Sure.
But it did look like those were the like real bodies of X-wings that they superimposed over a thing and made it look real, just like Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, and because that looked really really good as opposed to, you know, Jar Jar Binks, whatever.
Yeah,
It looks cool.
Yeah, this is the direction I'm happy about it going for sure. So
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Star
Also
Wars.
on the Star Wars tip, I hadn't even really heard of these before, but I watched all 3 of the series of Mr. Plinkett's Star Wars deconstruction review stuff. Have you seen these? Oh man, you gotta check these out. You're the Star Wars guy. So this dude, I guess they're like 4 or 5 years old now, but he does this deconstruction of episode 1, 2, and 3. He's like, it's kind of what you would assume. It's like super Star Wars nerd, like completely tearing these things apart. But it's so well done. Like the dude is totally on point. He knows what he's talking about. And there's another level to the whole thing where he has his own narrative and he's kind of like making his own story in the reviews as well. Like he has, like, it's kind of like cheeseball-y, but there's like this whole subplot of him like keeping like trapped girls in his dungeon basement and stuff. It's pretty great, man. You should check.
You gotta send me a link.
You should
That
search
sounds
these out.
awesome.
Yeah, I'll put them in a link for this show too. But I think the dude's called Mr. Plinkett. I don't know. These are huge. Like there are like tons of people have seen them. But yeah,
That sounds
they're
awesome.
totally worth checking out. There's for episode 1, 2, and 3, and they're all about an hour and a half long in total. So.
That's got to be pretty harsh though, because I try to avoid like just picking apart episodes 1, 2, and 3 because I don't want to know too much about. I know already too much about midichlorians and how Anakin was a virgin birth. Like whatever, dude. Whatever.
But the dude,
But-
like the awesome thing about this guy is he's like makes some super awesome points, but like it's really dumb at the same time. Like he's, you'll see.
Sounds like Star
you'll
Wars.
check it out.
Awesome.
What else were we gonna hit here? There was another Jurassic Park trailer.
Yeah, Jurassic
Do you have
World.
stuff to say about that?
That looked
Yeah,
cool.
it looked fine.
Yeah. Here's one dumb thing, and I've
Just
been thinking
one.
this was dumb, and now it's gonna sound like I'm you know, stealing from the Idle Thumbs podcast, but they mentioned it as well. There's one dumb thing in that trailer, and that's when Star-Lord says, "Depends on what kind of dinosaur they cooked up in that lab." That was dumb.
Yeah.
That is a dumb line.
I mean, I arguably riding motorcycle flanked by velociraptors fairly dumb as well, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'll watch that
Well,
movie.
Oh, I will watch the shit
Yeah.
out of that movie, whether it's dumb or
Yeah.
not. I said, you know, superheroes, zombies, robots is all we've seen for the past 10 years. Yo, dinosaurs, they're coming back.
Yeah, I'm into it, man.
Dinosaurs.
Bring it.
Everybody's going to want, all the kids are going to want to be archaeologists in like 5 years.
Right.
They're all going to, just like all the kids who watch Jurassic Park. Dinosaurs are cool, dude.
Yep.
Oh,
Dinosaurs
yeah. Anyway,
are cool. And
Star-Lord.
I don't know, we were going to talk about the Game Awards, but all I really want to say is stuff I've said every time this comes up. Bethesda, I want Fallout 4 there. I want to see Fallout 4.
Please.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
And there's precedent for it. And they said there's going to be like 10 world exclusives, which that's not really fair because like they've already come out and said 2 of them, one of them is Bloodborne. That's not an exclusive. That's just a
No Man's Sky.
or like some other Sony thing that we all know about already. And it's like don't call them like world exclusives unless it's like new stuff. But
It's like, well, we showed a trailer you've never
It
seen
doesn't
before.
count,
It's like,
guys.
well, I mean, sure,
Yeah.
whatever.
But
Why not?
I'm sure there will be some stuff there that we haven't seen at all. So
I'm not so sure about the. I could be wrong, but Fallout 4, I don't know. I mean, my whole thing is like it's not on television now, but I could be totally doing a disservice to streaming.
I guess it would be E3 then if it wasn't this thing.
Mm-hmm. Totally, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. My dad's been playing a lot of Fallout 3, and I've been watching a little bit of that, and I'm like, oh, that makes me want to try it again for the 10th time.
Yeah.
And I will have a new PC soon with a new graphics card and a new everything.
Yep.
And I will try to play that again on there and put a bunch of cool effects in there, and then I'll kill raiders.
Yep, that's what you do in that game. You go around, freeze time, and blow heads off.
Yeah,
for sure.
I like freezing time.
Yeah,
it's
pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So I think that does it for this episode. Unfortunately, we spent so much time talking about Star Wars, and that's great. I would like talking about that stuff, but I don't know what's going to be back there for that whole conversation.
I don't know. Just
shots of
a
space.
Picture of Chewbacca.
Yeah.
You know, just Chewbacca.
Chewie chilling.
Hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Probably. A puppet.
Sure.
Just Yoda sleeping.
Yeah.
Or dead,
seems about
whichever
right.
one he's doing. Maybe a picture of the Emperor.
Oh, yeah. Pissed Emperor.
Or James Earl Jones.
Yeah, that would be a good one, too.
Give him some screen
For sure.
time. He's never even seen.
Yeah, true.
He's not even the guy in that damn suit.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Unfortunately. And that will do it for us this week. Thanks so much for watching. We say this all the time. If you're watching this show, you're the diehard of the diehards. So
You're a
thank
crazy
you.
person.
And go check out our LPs. Those are happening.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Later.
See ya.